Good day, Heal family. Welcome to Heal with Nona Black TV. Today we're going to be doing a recipe that's near to my heart, my mom's recipe for Salmon Croquette. So I pray that you enjoy it and like it. It's going to be quick for me to put together. I have a picture with the ingredients at the front, and I'll include a ingredients page. So definitely want you to thank everyone for supporting me. Thank you for your likes. Thank you because it helps support the channel. Thank you for your comments, for the engagement in the channel. Want to hear your thoughts. If you try the recipe, if it works, and it's always been a hit, so I'm pretty sure your family will like it. You know, you might have a significant other, special someone you want to impress with it. And then also, thank you for sharing the video. For any of the videos, if you share it with someone who might can learn something. I did my diabetic journey part 1 and 2. Part 3 will be coming out soon. So if it helps anyone, encourages anyone, or if it gives them any information to help them on that journey, that's why this channel was created, to be a support and help. And to help people if they had questions, or it was something that they didn't think of, and I can mention that happened in my journey. Being very transparent, and I'm doing that because I wanted information, and at the time I was going through my journey, I just needed a little bit more help and support, and so I figured if I could do that for someone and it helped them, then that would be a blessing. And I pray you're going to have a great week. It's been a great weekend and going into next week. All right, I'm going to get ready to put everything together and let's get into it. All right, Hill family, getting ready to put the salmon croquette recipe together. Got all the ingredients. It's not going to take very long. Just want to slide by the ingredients for you very, very quickly. And then let's get this together. I did pre-chop up some red onion, some bell pepper, and that's fresh garlic there. Remember what I said, fresh garlic, nothing can replace that taste of fresh garlic. So let's get this started. I'm using salmon in the can. Some people use fresh salmon. My mom used salmon in a can, so that's the kind that I'm using. And you can pick whatever kind you like, or you can use fresh salmon. I'm just using what she taught me. I do pour out the excess water, liquid down in the bottom. You have to go through the salmon because there are some little bones in there, so you want to make sure you get that out. You don't want any other spine in there, any bones in there. Make sure you get that out. Pretty much everything else is okay to use. Sometimes I take out a little bit of the peel side on the back side. Sometimes I take a little bit of it out, not all of it. It's okay. You want to get that omega. And salmon is a healthy recipe. It's good. It's good for you. I'm not sure if you remember on one of my past videos, I remember when I did do the videos for meal prep, the weeks that I did fish or some type of fish, salmon, any kind of fish, I did lose more weight, so that's a good thing. Start with the 1 can. Then she always used 1 cup of the breadcrumbs. I did get she always used the seasoned breadcrumbs, so I always use the ones that are seasoned. It says Italian seasoning. They have plain ones, but I use the seasoned one because they already got a lot of extra seasoning into it. So I'm going to put in the bell pepper and the onion. I like mine cut up fine. I don't know about you. If you do, cut yours up fine, whatever size. I don't like big chunks of onion. That's me. I know others don't mind. but you don't want it to overtake the salmon. You want the salmon to be the main um, flavor, and everything else is just the side to enhance it and to bind it together, and also um, make it a substantive meal. So I have all of those in. So I got that in. So the next thing is to layer in the seasonings. And then this is just a plain garlic powder or garlic granules. It's the best to use. So I'm going to put some in here. And remember, you have a little bit of that seasoning in the seasoned breadcrumbs. All right. Of course, I'm going to use some of Taz's Very Good Garlic. It has seasoning in it, and it's no salt in it. So it's always good to make sure you have more than enough garlic. So we have the flavor of the garlic layered in a few different times. We got the very fresh garlic. Nothing can really substitute very fresh garlic. Have that, then have the garlic powder and the Tab's garlic, Very Good Garlic, because it has additional seasonings in it. And then we're going to also use a roasted garlic and herb. The reason I like to use this one is the seasoning is just a little bit different. It just has a little bit more salt, onion, spices. So this one does have a little salt in there. It's additional herbs in it, so it's just layered in, extra layer of flavor. All right. The next thing, I'm gonna layer in some adobo seasoning or any all-purpose seasoning that you desire or you like. I like this one. It has pepper in it too as well, and it has additional flavors to it. And so I just like to layer that in. So that's gonna pretty much most all of my seasoning. All right. So I have the 1 cup of the breadcrumbs. We got 1 can right now of the salmon in, and we got the seasoning all in. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of kosher salt. If you don't use salt, don't put in it. I just put a tiny bit. And then I'm going to layer in some fresh ground pepper. While the other seasoning may have a little pepper in it, it's not freshly ground. So I like to add in the fresh ground pepper. Okay. And then I forgot the other thing that I didn't get out was the egg. Sorry, I forgot I didn't get out the egg. And I went back, meant to do that. Production. Okay. All right. And then we got the 2 eggs. All right. Before I put the egg in and start really binding it together, I just want to make sure I have the salmon broken up. And you could have broken it up first. I have done that before. I just kind of missed that step. You can break the meat up first. So I just want to break it up and make sure it's all, you know, the meat, this salmon, and then the breadcrumbs and all the seasoning and stuff is all kind of layered through before I put the egg in. Because once you put the egg in, it'll be next to the final step to get ready to fry the salmon croquette. And as you can see, the bell pepper layered in there, the little red onion layered in there, it's going to come out to a very nice consistency, and your patty's going to look really, really good. All right, so I'm good. My salmon's all broken down. I have a second can. Probably don't have to do both of them. I'm going to do like I have, because I want to make sure I have more meat than breadcrumbs. I know some people put more breadcrumbs than meat, but I prefer more meat in mine than breadcrumbs. So I'm just adding a little bit more salmon in. Make sure I don't have any of the spine in, any bones in. Not a little, it's like a can and a half is what I'm going to do, and that'll be more than enough. So I want to make sure my meat is good all throughout. Make sure you're always looking for bones. Anyone, I know they're pretty soft bones, but I don't want, someone eating. I don't want them to come pick up a bone or get a bone. All right, now, family, we're putting this all together. We're almost to the final step. I'm gonna break this up so we got more salmon in there. Like I said, even with that 1 cup, see, it takes up almost the whole bowl. I'm breaking up this other salmon with the other ingredients are already in there. So we have what we said. We started with the salmon. We got the breadcrumbs. We got the garlic powder, the very good garlic, and the roasted garlic. It has additional seasoning flavors in it and herbs. A little bit of salt, kosher salt, and then also some fresh ground pepper in there, and a little adobo. And then of course I had already put the chopped up bell pepper and red onion in already. You could actually use just a little bit more of that. I'm going to put 1 egg in, and then I'll see if I want to add in just a little bit more. I have 2 eggs. You shouldn't need more than 2 eggs for the recipe. So your egg is going to start binding together everything. And there's a new series that I'm going to start doing too. Something I had learned, after I had got diagnosed diabetic. I just wanted to, some things I had learned about breakfast. As I told you on my journey, I did learn that I had to make sure that I eat breakfast to get my engine started burning. And I had to make sure I included some kind of protein in the morning. So it could be, your protein doesn't have to be salmon, it could be egg whites, it could be chickpeas or something, along with whatever else you decide. It could be fruit. So we're going to be going to that soon. Next, and I'll show you a few of the things, ways I've decided to reimagine breakfast. Okay, so we're definitely going to need the next one. I'll put that in, the egg. All right. You see, those breadcrumbs takes up quite a lot. You don't really need a whole lot, and I didn't have the cup fill up to the very, very top. So the breadcrumbs are doing, it doesn't take a whole lot of them to be able to do what you need to do. Just mixing everything together right now, family. As you can see, it's good consistency. I'm sorry, I got my hand in the way. As you can see, it's a good consistency. I may have to put 1 more egg. I put a little more breadcrumbs in, and probably I wouldn't want it because it's just cooking it for me and my son. But because you want it to, when you get ready to make the patties, you want it to come together. And you don't want it to be too dry. So it's a little bit drier than I would like it right now. So I may put just a tiny bit of water in it and possibly 1 more egg. The binding part of the egg is already, I believe, thank good in there. Just making sure it's got distributed well so we can get ready to make our patties. What I will do, because I end up using a can and a half, I'll go ahead and cut up just the last part of this, the bell pepper. Just going to put a little bit more in that because I do want it, and I want the flavor throughout all of the patties. Like I said, I do cut mine up fine, but I want to make sure it's in there. And also, like I say, another reason I cut it up fine, everybody doesn't like onion, but even if they don't like onion and you cut it up very small and very fine, normally some people can, deal with that. And the flavor it gives inside of the salmon croquette is just different. It just completely has a completely different flavor when it's with onion and not onion. No onion, because I have been that person like, well, I'm making it now. I'm not gonna put no onion in it, and it was okay, but it's not the same. It's not quite how my mom did it. So she put onion in it, and I'm using red onion. She has used the white and the Vidalia onions in the past when I was a kid growing up. So you can also choose to use one of those, but I just like the red onion taste, so that's why I'm using that kind. All right, so I got these chopped up. They are fine. As you can see, the red onion and the bell pepper is fine. So I'm adding that to make sure I have enough of it to layer throughout all of the salmon croquettes. It smells so good. Just the ingredients going in there, the fresh cut. Remember, I already put garlic in there. You don't need a whole lot of garlic, especially when it's fresh. Plus, we already layered on the seasoning with the fresh garlic, with the garlic powder and the very good garlic. So, got that good. All right, I'm going to just put like less than half a cup of this. A little bit of water because I want it to bind together. I could put another egg in it, but I think it just needs a little water too. There we go. Yeah. For those breadcrumbs to soak up to help. See, it's already itself getting ready to it smells so good too. And I usually, for when I cook, I don't usually use like vegetable oil. Every now and then I use canola oil, but pretty much now for the most part I use olive oil and grapeseed oil. And sometimes I'll use flaxseed oil if I can get it on sale, but I always try to keep staple olive oil and grapeseed oil in my pantry. And I cook, so if I fry something, I cook it with those. As you can see, it looks delicious. Put a little more water. And that's because the breadcrumbs, like I said, the breadcrumbs, you don't have to have a whole cup because I didn't even have it full for the amount that I had with it. I could put another egg, but I don't want to over egg it. And I just want it to be loose enough. I want the patties, because I don't want the patties to be dry. I use water. You could put water. You could put vegetable broth or chicken broth or something like that in there if you want to use that. One thing about recipes, you can always alter them to what's best for you and what tastes good to you. It looks so good. I'm on top of that now. So it's right there at the consistency I want it. So I'll be able to make the patties. There we go. It's there. They'll be able to bind together and it's not dry. So then once it just fries, it won't take but a few minutes to get that, and then it'll all be done. I also have some little parsley on the side, and it's pretty much for a garnish. So if you know, you've seen it there, just gonna cut these up. So at the very, very end, we'll put a little garnish on top of it, and I like to use fresh parsley instead of the dried. You know, it just doesn't have flour. All right, there we go, and it's already ready. So that part is done. It's ready. Got the can. One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put just a little squeeze of lemon in here. And this is for me. You're like, why are you putting lemon in there? That's just me. I love lemon. I love lemon. And I think it helps bring out the taste. You don't have to have that in there. I'm just gonna put a little bit in before I put the patties together. Just a little bit. Not very much. It's not a citrus situation, but just a little bit. It's gonna make that salmon pop. So I'm just taking out a seed. Okay. That just gives me a little bit more, so that it's ready to bind together, ready to form the patties. It's not too thick and it's not dry. So that was the main reason. I want it to be dry, and they look perfect. It looks perfect. It smells good already, and it's not even cooking. All right, so let's get ready to make those patties together. Put them on a plate, and then what I'll do is, once I get them made up, I'm gonna come back and do another one where we're actually just cooking them and finishing off what the breakfast will look like. We're going to use the grapeseed oil this time, so I have enough. And the olive oil. Put a little olive oil in there because I'm going to make sure I have enough oil in there to cover. Get them. All right, family. We're here. We're almost done. We're going to get ready to make the patties and form them. We already have 2 eggs in it, so that's more than enough to bind them together. And then that's more than enough. See the consistency? I want to make sure you see the consistency. You can see everything. You can see the fish, the salmon. You can see the bell pepper. You can see the onion. Okay. You just form your patties, and then I'm going to cook them for the end part. And then when you're reimagining your breakfast and what you have with salmon croquette, some people would like to have grits with it. Some people will like something else that may be a little bit more fattening. Just try something different that you hadn't tried before. Some fruit, a vegetable, or something that you can put with it instead of something that's more starchy or heavy. And that way you can help keep it healthy as possible. You want a good protein, and you want the protein to be enhanced by what you eat with it. So there we go. And then I like to leave them kind of like almost in bite size. So like when you get ready, when they're cooked, they're gonna, shrink down a little bit. So someone could break it in half or break it into a fourth, and then it's bite sized that way. So you still got more than enough. As you can see, this is gonna make a lot just for this. And what I might do is I'll just cook them all up and then I'll freeze some. So that way you already got it ready for. Just get some wax paper, put them in a bowl, just preform them. Put the wax paper in between the layers, and then all you have to do is pull them out and fry them for your the morning or whenever you're having your breakfast. And then who likes breakfast for dinner? So I like every now and then to do opposite and have breakfast for dinner. All right, so I'm gonna stop here with this one. Then I'm gonna get ready to fry these for you so we can finish it off. All right, so that's 6 of them made right there, and that's just probably like half of the bowl. So that's like enough for one breakfast. More than enough for me and my son. Me and my son and daughter could both eat 2. And then, like I said, if you do enough, then you save yourself another extra day. You can just make these and put them in a bowl, layer them, format them, put some wax paper in between, then to put the other layer on top, freeze it, and then you already got yours, and you just have to pull them out and cook them for the next time. All right, Hill family, we're gonna get ready to go to the next step. Thank you for watching, and stay with us till we get to the ending product. All right, Hill family, we're getting ready to go to the final touch for the salmon steps for the salmon croquette. As you can see, I put them in the pan already. They're already cooking. I'm ready to flip the others. Got 4 sitting there. Falling apart. That tells me I might need to put a little more fluid. I don't know if I want to cook a little too long. There we go. Got that one. Flip the other one. Alright, but anyway, we're almost done. So we're gonna let this one, I think this one's almost all the way done. We're gonna put it out. So when I was talking about the reimagined breakfast, also did some little spinach, started the plate. So we're gonna have some fruit in the morning, natural sugar itself. It's good to eat it earlier in the day so your body can digest it. And what I found was when I didn't eat much sugar and other things there, the fruit tasted sweeter, and it also didn't make my blood sugar go awry. But you know, everyone is different, so you just have to consult with your doctor. And always check your blood sugar. If you're diabetic, always check your blood sugar a few different times after a meal, before a meal, so you can see how it impacts you and how so this one is already done. Letting it now I did use, I kept the grapeseed oil, and I just put a tiny bit of the olive oil because I didn't have any more, so I already doing it there. They're almost done. It really doesn't take very long, and it's pretty much almost done. Up for you, and it's just another way to imagine your breakfast in the morning. Look at some healthier options than maybe some grits. To just replace what maybe somebody might have liked, grits or something else. You know, with the greens, and then you can pick whatever greens that works best for you. And if you want to have grits in it, in whatever you're doing for your meals, then that's fine too. I had so many grits growing up, so I'm kind of like over grits. And then so some things like that spike my blood sugar, I try to stay away from and don't eat as much. Like I said, I try to save some of those things like for when I go out. So, you know, if I go out somewhere and eat somewhere out that I haven't eaten before. Alright, so spinach there. Pretty much done. I'll let it cook well on one side. But they pretty much stayed. They kind of went out to the side. They stayed. I did want to show you what I was talking to you here family about earlier. Like I said, you're doing a meal prep, so I did do that because I had the amount left over. They're looking a little square in here, but I just did that to make sure they fit inside the bowl. I have the wax paper here already, so I put the wax paper in there. I'll probably fold it in half. See if that works better. Fold it in there, and then what I'll do is I'll just form up the rest of them, put them in there on top, and I'll cut the wax paper so you know it doesn't go outside of the bowl. And then you already got your meal prep ready for another day, or whenever you just want to, you need some protein, something healthy. It's already pre-done, so that works out perfectly. I got 6 out of there before, and that's 4 in there, and I'm going to at least get 2 more, maybe possibly 4 more to be able to fit and close this out. Alright, we're back to the salmon croquette patty, and we are done. Put it on the plate. Just going to let there to let some of the excess grease drain. Just going to let that drain. Take that off so it doesn't burn. Always make sure you got good muffins, good mittens, and stuff for your hot stuff. You don't want to burn yourself. Alright, so we have that. Have the completed one. And the second one. Alright, Hill family, here it is. Reimagine your breakfast. It's delicious. So we got the salmon croquette. This was a recipe that my mom did. She's deceased now, but you know, anyone, your family, they impart it to you. If they die, they're not all truly dead because they live on in you. So we got that. Got some fruit on the side. Of course, and added spinach for a healthy option for the side. And you can pick whatever healthier option that you may want for your family or that your family would like. Greatly appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for supporting me with Heal at Nona Black TV. Please, if you don't mind, I want you to like the video. And I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear if you try it, if your family likes it. Leave a comment. And of course, want to support the channel. There's no cost, just to subscribe. And I thank you, greatly appreciate you watching. Thank you for being a part of the Nona Heal with Nona Black TV family. And may the Lord watch between you and me while we're absent one from another. Be blessed, Heal family.